All right. Hello, my name is Sarah Grady. I'm the Assistant Director of the Lloyd D. Levenson Institute of Gaming, Hospitality, and Tourism here at Stockton University. Light for short, we are part of the School of Business. I am joined here today by Mr. Ken Calemmo, Chief Operating Officer of Cooper Levenson and long-serving member of Lights Advisory Board. Thank you for joining me today, Ken.
Glad to be here.
Here. So I'd like to maybe start this interview off with a question of, who is Ken Calemmo? What would you like to tell us about yourself?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I came to this marketplace, believe it or not, almost 33, 34 years ago. I mean, I've been in Atlantic City and kind of have made it my home where I raised my children. And I've been, my wife works in Atlantic City. She's a judge here locally, and been very much engaged in what's going on in this community, Atlantic and Cape May counties. I've always taken the opportunity to try to be involved in the community and work with individuals and see what we can do to better our environment here. And I'm really happy to be part of the Cooper Levenson family. I mean, this law firm has been almost going on 60 years in this marketplace and has been, I consider almost a foundational element to the community. I mean, we've done things with all the educational institutions in the area. We've worked with churches, we've worked with county government, state, city, we just try to stay engaged. So it's been a long, fun ride.
And the second question is, what are the highlights of that ride? What kind of path led you to become Chief Operating Officer at Cooper Levenson?
Well, I was recruited some 30 plus years ago by Jim Cooper and Lloyd Levenson. I had been running a small firm out in Delaware County. Prior to that, I was running the offices of United States Senator Arlen Specter in Washington, D.C. So it was kind of a logical progression. I mean, back when I first got here, our firm was under 30 lawyers, and now we're almost surpassing 70 lawyers in 5 states. So, we've grown considerably. Our market share has considerably grown. We've worked to broaden our base beyond the state of New Jersey. I mean, we have probably one of the biggest gaming practices in the country right now. We do things worldwide in that area. We're handling, clients from all the whole tri-state area here, and doing, a lot in the commercial world, as well as small businesses in and around our marketplace. So.
The third question I have is, what would you consider your greatest challenge or a success? Currently, it sounds like there's been a lot of growth with Cooper Levenson, so that's certainly a success.
Well, I'm probably dealing with many of the issues that most employers are dealing with right now, and that's really finding a diverse employment base, for all of, I mean, I love Atlantic City. I love the beach, the shore, but we are kind of stuck between the Philadelphia marketplace and the North Jersey marketplace. And, it can be somewhat challenging to attract young people into this area. So it's probably the greatest challenge that we face. And, I think the pandemic made us all look at things a lot differently. We have gone to certain hybrid situations, allowing many of our professionals to work outside the office, at home, some as far as a few states away. So, we're doing what we can to meet the needs of our clients. So that's been probably the biggest issue we've had to deal with.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So Cooper Levenson has a strong presence here in Atlantic City, and I always like to ask our leaders, what's your vision for Atlantic City? What key issues or trends do you feel like are going to come up in the next few years?
Well, Atlantic City needs to begin to figure a way to attract more capital. Capital investment is probably the most critical element. And capital goes where they feel there's less risk and it's a good place for their employees, good educational systems. I think, we have many of these things, but we have to continue to work at it. When major businesses and corporations are looking to deploy resources, they're going to go someplace where it fits their best interest. And we have to create that here in Atlantic City. So, I would like to see, the population increase by 5 or 10,000. I'd love to see other businesses diversify here. I think where we have an opportunity to do that, not in the areas of hospitality that many people think, but e-gaming continues to come along, and R&D in that area, aviation with the FAA, the Tech Center, the Research and Development Center out there. And these are opportunities I think we have to exploit and take beyond the county and let the state and other partners know about that. There are opportunities here. We have right in our backyard, and people probably don't even realize this, a huge server farm. Continent 8 has built a facility there that could be utilized. I mean, it's a magnificent, server facility, and everything is going to the cloud, and it's right in our backyard. So we need to reach out to technology companies to try to join forces and find ways we can attract them to come here and bring their capital, bring their investment, and bring their employees. So.
And even just talking earlier about how you're trying to attract new talent into the area to fulfill the needs of Cooper Levenson. The next question is, what role do you see Cooper Levenson playing in all of that?
Well, I think Cooper Levenson, again, we've been, I learned early on from a guy that was doing it back in the early 60s, Jim Cooper. It's a strong community is good business. It is. So it's our job to make sure we have a good community, a strong community, a community that can grow economically, make sure we're taking care of the folks that need to be taken care of. And I think Cooper Levenson shows that that's something we are interested in. It's up and down our ranks, from our staff people right up to Lloyd Levenson, the involvement that people have in the marketplace. So I think that's going to continue. I think we're going to continue to play a role, be it a support role or a leadership role, but we are here and we're not going anywhere. So this is our home, and we're going to continue to expand it.
Absolutely. So sort of to round out the interview, I always like to ask if you have any advice for someone who's considering a career in your specific field.
Career in the law?
In the law, in gaming law?
Oh, sure. No, I mean, in the law, I think, that is a process, and it's make sure you have that passion to want to be in this profession. I would suggest people research it to the extent that it is a very diverse area for employment opportunities. People say, hey, I'm an attorney, but that spans a huge myriad of practice areas, everything from tax law to business to transactional work to real estate opportunities, things that you would never think of, cyber, electronics, R&D. There are just a multitude of opportunities. So I think using the law as a backbone and a fundamental basis for a passion in other areas can be a very strong piece to move people along. What I would really like to see is Stockton open that law school we keep talking about, that I desperately would love to locate here in the city of Atlantic City, because access to law schools and keeping people here in New Jersey continues to also be a challenge. So I think if we could parlay that into a something in our own backyard here, Cooper Levenson would play a big role in making sure that we are putting out talented young professionals into the courtrooms. So that's what if I had a wave a magic wand, that's what the magic wand I'd want to wave.
Oh, if only, if only we all had magic wands to make all of the challenges come together. And I want to thank you so much, Ken, for joining me today and having this conversation and sharing your expertise and wisdom and vision. Is there anything you'd like to add? Anything you really want to draw a line under today?
No, I mean, I thank you so much. I mean, thank you to Stockton for all the things you guys have done in moving the ball forward here in the community. I mean, not only are you training leaders of the future, but you're, taking steps to physically change the landscape, particularly in Atlantic City. So that's just as important, is to continue to make that investment in our community. So thank you for you guys and all the work you do for Light, and all the very best.
Well, thank you so much, Ken, and thank you again for joining us today.
Okay.
And thank our viewers for joining us for this interview.
Well, I hope they enjoyed it.